There's a couple ways you can access the playback feature in the Alibi Vigilant recorders. You can either hit the menu button in the bottom left corner and go to Playback, or you can right click on the live view screen and go to Playback. Going over the playback features here on the left hand side, we have a max camera option, which will select all the cameras for playback, and a close all, which will deselect all the cameras. We're going to go ahead and reselect camera 1 here. Right below the camera list, you will have a calendar. My calendar looks a little bit sporadic because I have recording off and on, but yours should be really full of weeks or maybe months back with footage. Mine does have a little bit of footage there. I did some changes here earlier this month. So as you can see, today is the 11th. That is selected. If I double click on that date, it will automatically start the camera at midnight. The most obvious and important feature of the playback section here is the timeline. As you can see right now, it is in a 24-hour format. So on the top right hand side here, you have a slider that will adjust the timeline size or zoom in on the timeline to 12 hours. Now it is a 12-hour timeline. Goes all the way down to 10 minutes, which each one of these white marks is going to be exactly 1 minute of time. So if you really want to get down, grab this cursor here, you can slide it around and really get fine-tune that playback time that you would like. As for the timeline itself, the blue options, let me make this back 24 hours here. The blue options are a normal continuous recording. I do have this unit set to record continuous, but the motion events are turned on. So even then, I will still get these red event markings to show me that there was some kind of motion around that timeline, which is super helpful so you don't have to dig through tons of footage. Moving on to the control panel down here on the bottom, you will have your external file option. And this button, if you click on it, it will take you to a screen to where you will be able to playback files that are on your USB key currently right now. So let's say if you did download something to the USB key, you can actually plug it into your unit or keep it plugged in and hit the external file option, and that will actually guarantee that that file is on that drive. I'm gonna go ahead and reselect this camera and hit the play button here. The clipping option here is going to be the way that you can actually save clips from playback. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit here, and let's say if we want our clip to start at 4:08, so we'll zoom in a little more and we'll get to 4:08. So we'll leave it on 4:06, and then we'll 7:08. We'll pause it there. 4:09 is fine. When you hit the clipping option here, you will have these two brackets that show up. You have a left bracket and you have a right bracket, which is the close bracket. So I can click on these and slide these accordingly. Start it at 4:08. And then I can end it at 4:28. We'll do 20 seconds of footage. Once I'm done setting those start and end brackets, I will hit the stop clipping option, and that will save that file in file management. There is that file right there. From that point forward, let's say you want to save it to a USB drive. You would select this here, hit the backup option, and then it already found my USB drive that I have plugged in, and I would hit the backup option here, and it will export it to that USB drive. Backup complete. Now that file is backed up onto the drive. Moving forward, while the clip is playing here, you do have some more options here. You can hit the rewind 30-second option. That will rewind it 30 seconds. You can also choose the duration of those jumps, right? So you can either do a 5-second jump, 30 seconds, all the way up to 1 hour jumps. This button here will actually move it 30 seconds forward. The reverse option is obviously pretty self-explanatory. It will play the clip in reverse. The stop button will stop the live playback. Play button will play it. We're playing again. This is the speed down. This will slow it down. to a quarter speed. If you want to speed it up, it goes all the way up to 256 times. So you can see there the time on top is moving very rapidly at this moment. We're going to pause that. And once you play that, you want to make sure to bring this back down to 1x. The forward by frame will actually move the image per frame. Not a lot going on in this image here. So, but if you did have some kind of situation, you can actually move it frame by frame from that point forward. You do have an option to play back in HD or SD. I'm not real sure who would want to play back in SD, but that is an option. The full screen option here is to go full screen when you're trying to maybe kind of get a really good look at what's going on there. Right click to go back to your playback menu. Alright, so let's move on down here to the video retrieval option. Go ahead and select that here. In this area here, you can actually select a certain type of search that you want to do. Let's say if you do have something connected to the I/O panel, you can search by that alarm input. Obviously, regular motion detection, video loss, tag search, VCA, human body detection, and doorbell call. In this demo, we're just going to choose motion here. You want to select a camera, which I have this second camera selected, and then your start time and date, and then your end time and date. And for this demo, I'm just going to kind of search early in the morning around midnight. I'm going to hit search here. I have 2 results that come up for that time frame that I put in. If I hit the play button, it automatically takes me to that result. Keep in mind that down here it has a start before and stop after. Just want to make this, probably lower this down to 5 seconds before and after. That way when I actually click on this, you will see the motion almost right away. And there's that vehicle there. Let's go back to the main playback. Then we'll hit the playback option up here on top. Moving on to the smart search option here. Right below the image, you'll have normal, smart, and quarter. We'll go ahead and go to smart here. And then you can select a camera from the left-hand side. And that will do an it'll auto-analyze here. I don't know if you can see those green markings on the below the timeline. Those are the smart search results. You can actually change those once I hit play here by selecting the smart search option. And here you can actually choose where you want the smart search to look. So let's clear this out by hitting the clear all button. And then let's say if I just want to drag in this area up here and say, hey, I only want smart search results, motion results from this area here, then I can hit the search option. And that will bring up on the timeline these little green tick marks here, and that means there was motion in that area right there when that vehicle drove by. So you can really kind of just dictate where you want that motion to be detected. So it's a really cool feature. The corridor option is if you have your cameras in corridor mode. I'm not going to cover that in this segment. And that should cover the playback feature at the local interface of the Alibi Vigilant recorders.